Hey, yo, what's going on, you guys? Your boy Pwny, and in this video, we're going to be going over the best run defense in Madden 25. This is going to be a defense that's going to lock down pretty much anybody that's coming out of those tight formations. Not tight, but like those under center formations, single back, I form, strong, pistol, things of that nature. If they're running a very heavy run-based scheme, this is going to be the defense you're going to want to know, and you're going to love it because it's amazing. Now, before I get into it, if you guys are new to the channel, do not forget to hit that subscribe button, like the video, comment down below, and hit that noti bell so you guys never miss an upload. And shout out to the FTA gang. You guys show out every single video. I'm pretty sure you guys are going to show out for this one as well. So FTA for the algorithm helps push these videos to more and more people. And not saying that run defense is needed too badly in this game, but there are some annoying players that that they come out in single back wing tight, and it's a very frustrating thing to stop from time to time, especially if they have a good running back and you don't have that good of a defense. So this defense is going to help you guys out tremendously. So let's get right into it. And mid blitz, double mug, let's talk about it. It's the best defense in the game, and not only is it the best pass defense, but it's also the best run defense, and I'm going to show you guys exactly how to run it. So what you're going to want to do is find a playbook with double mug. It doesn't matter the variation. It could be the 2-4 variation or the normal 4-3 defense variation. And what you're going to want to do is find one of the plays where both of the linebackers are blitzing. Currently, there's only 2 plays in this playbook that has that, and that's mid blitz, which is the best pass defense in the game, and then you have the second best pass defense in the game, which is nickel dog 3 buzz. So we're gonna go ahead and call mid blitz, but before I do that, there are some things that you guys might need to know about this defense. Is that you guys can actually substitute linebackers in this position. It doesn't matter if it's a middle linebacker. This is the defensive end position, which you typically in previous Maddens you weren't allowed to pretty much put middle linebackers in this position. You had to do some quirky things to your depth chart and then go towards packages to get linebackers in those spots. In double mug, you don't need to do that. You can simply just take a middle linebacker if you want more speed and pretty much substitute them in these positions. So we took Allen out of the lineup and we're putting him in here. So now we have nothing but speed. And to make it even better, you can actually go ahead and take these guys here and put safeties in the middle linebacker position. So now we have 2 safeties, and now we can actually go ahead and put a better linebacker out towards that outside to set the edge a little bit faster. So now we have linebacker at the defensive end position. Then you have defensive linemen in the defensive tackle position. Excuse me, defensive ends in the defensive tackle position, and then you have safeties in the middle linebacker positions, creating it so that this play is absolutely nothing but speed in the interior, which is huge for this defense. So again, we're gonna call mid blitz or the nickel dog 3 buzz. We simply just need the linebackers blitzing, and then I'm gonna call mid blitz for this. But for the play specifically, we're gonna try to dominate stretch pretty much. So what you're gonna want to do as soon as you come out of the huddle, you can press. It doesn't really matter what you do with those guys, but the main portion of this blitz is you're gonna spread your D line, and then you're gonna crash them up. Okay. To spread your D line, it's left on the directional pad and then up on the left stick. And then to crash them up, it's left on the directional pad and then slant outside. You're gonna move your right stick up. So now this is what the defense looks like so far. This isn't how you stop everything. You're gonna take your linebackers and you're gonna spread your linebackers, and now the defense is pretty much set up. Now you're gonna want to take your user. You can, if you're gonna keep him above here, you're gonna want to blitz him. If you're not keeping him above here, you're gonna want to keep him pretty much wherever the running back is, and you're gonna hover up until that bar pretty much goes above his head. Once that bar is no longer above his head, the linemen are not going to target him, and it's gonna make it so that those guys that are blitzing the interior, they're not gonna fully get the open gap like you would like them to. So again, you're gonna want to take if you're running the man coverage version as well, you're gonna want to take the user who's guarding the running back. Okay, you're gonna make sure that you're focused on that person specifically, because right now you're gonna also hover on the opposite side of where the strong side is. So right now, for those of you guys who don't know where the strong side of the defense is, it's pretty much where the tight end is most of the time. So right now we have the tight end here, or the extra personnel. So sometimes you'll end up having 2 tight ends on one side and 1 tight end on the other side. And if you have an extra tight end on this side, that means this side is going to be the strong side, and that's the side that the defense is typically going to run towards. Now, the best part about this defense is we have coverage towards the weak side just in case they do try to skate towards that side specifically. But these guys are going to crash outwards while these guys are going to crash inwards, while your user is going to chase after whichever side that they run. And that's why we're going to end up hovering towards the weak side, so that once they call hike, we end up running towards wherever the way that the ball is going. So if they end up running this way, we end up having 1, 2, 3, 4, and then one guy chasing after with your user. This guy is also going to be chasing towards the inside, kind of setting the edge if they are running some kind of counter play. So again, that is all of what you guys need to know and what all needs to be explained. And then once they call hike, as you can see, absolutely clamped up. And I'm actually going to show the instant replay on that, because that is a stretch play that got bagged up towards the interior of the play. So the thing about this defense and why it's so good and why it's so dominant is because, first off, these guys are setting the interior edge here. These guys are both crashing towards the inside, making it so they kind of have to run towards the outside here. So this guy is a pulling fullback here, right? So he's running towards that way too, and you have to follow your fullback typically on most runs. But if they're running towards that strong side and you're running towards that man coverage version, you have so many bodies, and all these guys are setting, these two guys here are setting the interior, which is huge here. These guys set the interior while you, as your user, and all these guys here are crashing towards the outside. And if they're running towards the strong side, well, that's not gonna do very much for them, simply because this guy's here, this guy's here, this guy's here. And then to add on to it, the guy that's setting the interior edge, if he ends up getting a free lane, he sometimes can actually rush straight through and end up setting an even better edge against the stretch play, which makes it 10 times better and makes it very hard for your opponent to actually go ahead and make a play. Now, not only that, but as you can see here, to make this stretch work to the best of its ability, he has, instead of going out here and following a block, because we have too many people here, he has to go all the way. He has to go all the way towards the far outside. So as soon as you call this play against this kind of defense, he has to be on turbo as soon as the play starts, because we have too many bodies that are setting the edge here. So he has to try his best to outrun everybody that is on the field. And that's just a tall task for any player in the game to actually do. And in this situation, we end up getting a perfect block shed right where we need it, and we end up getting a stop for about 3 yards here. Now I'm going to call it one more time so you guys can see it, and then we're going to go ahead and focus on the interior runs just to showcase how good, because again, this looks like the middle of the field is wide open, absolutely wide open. So again, you're going to hover wherever the defense looks like they're not, and then as soon as the play starts, you're going to set the edge yourself, making it so that every hole that they could potentially run through is pretty much filled up. Now, the only thing, I will say this, it is Madden, so fluke does happen, but the only thing that you really have to worry about is them finding a gap in between. If they're able to find a gap in between, they're going to end up in a situation where they end up bumping somebody, and from time to time, it's Madden, and some fluky things will happen where they just burst right through the line. So let's go ahead and call timeout real quick, because we're going to go, you know what, we're going to go into a different formation on offense, just so we wing pair, and we're going to run in 2-4 zone open, simply running an inside zone play towards the interior of the defense. So again, we're gonna do the same thing. And who is on the running back? That's the only thing that we need to focus on. Who's on the running back? We have to take that user and pretty much take them and hover. And again, we're focusing on the weak side, and if they run towards the inside, we're just gonna focus towards that inside, creating that gap. Okay, now that time didn't really work as intended. So, I forgot to spread the D-line. That's on me. So let's do that one more time. And typically, I don't like this formation on offense specifically because of the alignment. They have 3 tight ends towards that right side. So typically in this situation, you're not going to focus on pretty much stopping the weak side. You're going to pretty much keep those linemen in towards the interior. So again, we're going to focus here, and we should get the perfect stop here. And again, you have that extra body crashing towards the inside, and that's exactly what we want to happen. But for this formation specifically, because there are so many tight ends, the D-line immediately shifts towards that right side. So I'm going to call timeout and call a different single back wing play. Just one that doesn't have the 4 linemen going towards that specific side. So let's call it a halfback dive out of single back wing close. So the linemen, as you can see, now the linemen are not like aligned in such a weird position. So now we're gonna do the same thing that we just did. Boom, hover towards the weak side. And now if they call hike, as you can see, boom. This is usually the result. This is the result that you notice every single time when they run interior plays. Single back wing tight is different because you can't really shift your line towards a specific side because the weak side will end up having too many bodies near it. But in any formation where there's not that big of a discrepancy in the O line and D line and the formation and the personnel, this is going to be the result whenever they run some kind of interior play. And as you can see, we're clamping this up. We're screaming through the gap and we're clamping this up almost every single time. So again, the simplest defense, you spread your line, you crash them up, you spread the linebackers, take whoever's on the running back, and all of a sudden you have some of the best run defense in the game. And as you can see, it's very consistent. I don't want to lead you guys down the wrong path, but if you guys are facing anybody who is a very, very heavy runner, this defense will clamp them up. My name is Pwny Montana. Hopefully you guys appreciate this video. I will see you guys in the next one. And as always, 2 fingers, deuces, and peace out, you guys.